So recently, I sold my A6500 body and I was looking for a new camera on the market, like another Sony camera, preferably a full frame. I had my eyes on the A7R Mark II, but it was a bit out of my price range for the budget. And I was left with, and I was still looking for a Sony camera because like I haven't sold this 70T to 200 yet, and I still have like a bunch of Sony lenses with me. So like I was just looking for a Sony camera. Be Unless I can sell all these Sony lenses, then I'll just get another ecosystem like Nikon, which I haven't tried yet. So the market is kind of dry. There's not much Sony cameras, but then I stumbled upon this little guy, the Sony Nex C-3, which coincidentally uses E-mount as well. So I just decided, hey, why not just give it a try? So I got it for $90. And surprisingly, which I did not know, it uses a NP-FW50 battery. Same battery as the A6500, A6000, A7 Mark II, A7, A7S, that series, which is like such a huge convenience. So let's review this camera. So the Sony Nex C-3, that has a viewfinder, I mean a LCD screen that comes out like this. You cannot turn it any other way, only up. And let's turn it on. Okay. So when I bought this, it came with the 16mm f2.8 APS-C lens and the 18 to 55mm f3.5 to 5.6. Two lenses for $90. Quite a deal. It did not come with an SD card though, which I used my own. So let's get into like the camera. So this camera has a HDMI port, full size HDMI. Is that full size? I think it is. Oh my gosh. A full size HDMI port. You know we all prefer a full size rather than a micro HDMI. USB type B if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. And from here you can change the display. Same thing. Change what shows up. And the thing about this camera is it's very hard to change modes because like you have to press a lot of buttons. You have to press here, reach the menu, and then you have to go to the shoot mode. And from here then you can change the mode, which I don't really like. But hey, what can I do? And like you can't, even if I change it to manual, I can't really like change the shutter, the aperture, and the ISO freely, which is kind of, you know, a bother. So this camera has a 16.2 megapixel sensor. It uses APS-C sensor, CMOS, and it stores the SD card here. It has a tripod attachment slot, and from here the dial here, you can set it to change your aperture, or you can set it to change your shutter speed, but I've never really played around with that. And there's the if you want to change your focus point, you have to press this button, or you can change it to something else if I'm not mistaken. And then there's a record button, on off. You can press here to look at your plays, your photos that you've taken. And for here, I'm not really sure what this is for, but it's just here. Maybe it's for like a flash. And that's pretty much it for like the hardware aspect. So now I'll just show you some image qualities. I mean, like, to be honest with you, the image quality on this camera is really not bad. It's, I would say, definitely still better than some mobile phones, but it's still really not bad. But as for now, I'll have to use this camera first until there's a good full frame camera for sale on the Facebook marketplace, and by then I'll give you another review. So now let's move on to the photo samples that I took with this camera.